What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Twin Tapes Fear Part 2. And guess what? I'm not scared anymore. I am not scared anymore.
It sounds like you're still scared, though.
I am not scared anymore. I am scared. Honestly, this music is terrifying me. We're just gonna get into it. I'm Sharice.
I'm Jay.
And you're listening to
The Twin Tapes.
It's the Twin Tapes. We just made you do a double take. Double take. Double take. It's the Twin Tapes. And we sitting at a table for two.
Guess who's back? Back again.
We're back.
Part 2.
That's right. We're back with part 2
Yep.
of
Fear.
Straight up fear.
So as we left y'all off in part 1, we said that we're going to give a breakdown of a group of people that showed fearlessness.
Mm-hmm. And we're also fearful at the same exact time. And these are the players of the Squid Game. The #1 Netflix show for running for like a couple weeks now.
For a minute.
So, again, spoiler.
Right.
If you did not watch it, we are going to be talking about the entire series. But hopefully now, most
By
of
now, y'all have watched it.
Right.
And let me just say, if you haven't watched it, put this on pause, watch all 9 episodes, and then play this back.
and come back.
Because it's a great show.
And come right back to us. Because we've got the juice, we've got the tea, we've got the bubbles, we've got everything. So we're just going to jump right in.
Let's do it.
So we're talking about fear. We're talking about fearlessness. We're talking about being fearful.
Yep.
Jay, tell us, what was your favorite part or something that stuck out of the players being fearful?
Well, before I even go into that, I loved the premise of the show.
Okay.
I love the premise of the show because the premise of the show, it's based on fear.
Yeah.
It's based
that's
on
a fact.
fear and it's based on desperation. The show is
Desperado.
saying...
Literally.
No, seriously. The show is saying, look, we know you all are all in debt, and here's a chance to eliminate your debt by playing in this game, but you don't know exactly what you're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, already... You have to consider the fact that what they had to do to even get here.
Yes.
And you know the stakes are going to be even higher than that. So it's like, okay, I had to endure mad slaps to the face just to even get here. So you know if I lose this game, it's going to be more than a slap in the face, literally.
Right. I mean... Maybe they weren't even thinking about it, but they were definitely fearful of something. So,
Right.
so what's one example of for you that stuck out? The players when they were straight up scared. Okay.
Off the bat, episode 1, red light, green light. They're
Big
walking.
shock.
They're walking into this maybe playground, you can call it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's call it
They
a playground.
see a giant figurine doll. They're told that they're playing a childhood game.
Mm-hmm.
Red light, green light. Okay, easy peasy.
Right. Lemon squeezy.
And then the moment that first person gets shot and killed on sight,
Straight up, right to the temple. Boom.
right to the temple, shot, killed, it's like panic mode.
Yes.
Because this is not what they thought they signed up
Mm-hmm.
for.
Straight up panic.
Straight up panic, straight up fear.
Yeah.
Straight up fear.
#20.
Hashtag 20.
Yes.
What
Great
about you? What about you?
Great example. My example would be right after that game. So still
Okay.
first episode.
Okay.
When they get back and they're like, please, we don't want to do this anymore.
Got
I
it.
have a child I didn't even
Got it.
name.
Got it.
And you know, I
Second
think it's
episode,
like 5.
actually.
Oh, okay, second
Yeah.
episode.
Mhm.
I think it's like 5 or 6 women
Yes.
at first.
Yes.
Are on their knees
I remember that. Mhm.
pleading. And that's obviously right before they do the vote to end the game.
Correct.
But that was my prime example of, oh, no. You're straight up scared
Oh,
and
100%.
fearful for your life. Please, sir, I'll do anything. I'll pay my debt. I'll do this. I'll do that in the third. And then it's just so funny because they rebut and they're like, hold up.
Right.
We're not asking you to pay back your debt.
Right.
We asked you to come here to play some games.
Right.
We never said anything about. So it's just funny that they're thinking, let me make up another lie because we know you're in tons and tons of debt and none of y'all paid nobody back.
Right.
So stop with the lies talking about, I'll pay back my
Exactly.
debt. Yeah, that's what you told the last guy, and that's why you're
That's
fucking here.
what you told the loan shark that was after you that made you sign a blood contract.
Right.
What are you talking
So-
about? You'll pay back your debt.
Yeah, prime
They're already
example.
gambling on money they don't have.
Oh yeah,
That's what got them in this bind.
Exactly. Prime example.
And then that brings up the clauses of the whole games, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Only 3 clauses. The first clause: once you play, you must keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
Clause 2: if you refuse to play, you'll get eliminated, shot and killed. And then clause 3, which is the greatest clause, which is the whole reason why they left in the first place and came back, which is the fact that the game can end if the majority of players want to end it.
Mm-hmm.
Why would the majority of players want to end a game where you can win, what was it, 6 million won?
No. It was like
Or billion.
45 billion won.
Insane.
Yeah. It was
Why-
the amount of them times like either 1,000 or 1,000,000 per,
Right.
because there were 456 of them.
Yes.
So it ended up being like 45.6000, comma 00000.
Right. And real why would anybody want to end a game and
Right. I mean, they didn't think eliminated meant die,
dead.
death, murder, red rum. They didn't think about that. But let's get
Right.
back on track.
Right.
We just told y'all our moments that stuck out about the players being fearful.
Mhm.
Now let's talk about them being fearless, showing bravery and confidence.
Well, bravery and confidence, I don't even know if there was, well, okay, there was examples of bravery and confidence
So
in the
let's-
show. However, when I thought of an example of the players demonstrating fearlessness was the glass bridge. When that time is running down and you're still on the second step trying to decide whether the third one is freaking tempered glass or actual glass, time is running down. I think they had something crazy like 16 minutes or like 10 minutes
Yeah.
to get through this multi-stepped glass bridge. They started pushing each other off.
Yeah.
Because that's a sure way that if you don't cross it at all, you're going to die.
But
Mhm.
I don't agree.
You don't agree with
I don't
what?
think that them leaping was them being fearless.
No. I'm not talking about the actual act of them leaping being fearless. I'm talking about you're on step 4, I'm on step 3. There's 5 minutes left and you're like, and I'm pushing you off because you are not moving fast enough.
So you're saying the person that's doing the pushing is fearless?
100%.
I don't agree.
Okay.
I think that person is scared. I think they're fearful, not fearless.
That's true.
I think
That's true.
The person that's pushing is fearful that they're going to remain on this glass that they're at.
Yeah.
And right, if the time ran out, they were all just going to shatter, which they did.
Yeah.
So I think that was an act of fearful.
That's
being
true.
fearful, not fearless.
That's true. That's true. I was thinking about it in terms of just like, look, well, and then it's just me projecting because I'm scared of heights. Like if I'm taking
Are the hands clammy now, Jay?
a little bit.
Oh, they're feeling it now, Mr. Krabs.
If I'm taking the plunge to push somebody off of a piece of glass that I could easily slip off myself, like I'm not even thinking about my own fear at this point. I'm just like, no, you need to move because if you don't move, I'm for sure not moving. I need to move you out of the way so that I don't die.
I understand.
But I get your point too. Though.
Right.
I get your point
I
too.
can't fully agree.
They're because ultimately they're acting out of fear.
Right.
Ultimately.
Right.
So what was your example though? When
My
they
example
demonstrated
of someone being fearless, and I mean, you just made a great point.
about
everything they're doing is based off of fear.
It's
so
a fear-based game.
You could argue that anything. Wow.
It changes it for you, right?
You could argue that anything they do is an act of them being fearful or fearless.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
Depending on how the light is shown on it, man.
Because now that you say that, I'm like, well, my example is not of someone being
That's interesting.
fearless.
What's your example?
The last episode.
Okay. One Lucky Day. Episode 9.
When Sung-woo straight up stabbed Sung-gyung. No, not Sung-gyung. Se-byuk.
Yeah.
In the neck.
Yes.
I was thinking, well, that's fearless. But he was acting out of fear.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I need to secure the bag.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
Which is fear-based. Again, what you said.
Fear-based.
Wow. So, yeah, that was my example of a player or the players being fearless. But
when you're acting out of fear, you'll be surprised at the things that you're willing to do.
Oh, of course.
Especially in a game like this where the stakes are so high, where you know what is gonna happen to you if you don't act.
Yeah.
You're going to get eliminated, like they say. And that's for certain.
Right.
You don't know any other certainties besides if you don't win, you're going to lose.
Right. If you don't continue to play,
right, you're going to
be
get eliminated. Clause 1 and 2. And if you don't win the entire game, you're gonna die.
That's crazy.
It's a great concept for a show, and I haven't watched a show that was this good in a while.
And I think that leads into our next point of reoccurring themes. What were we seeing? What was being told and reiterated every episode, every other episode? I think we already said the first thing. This is a fear-based game. So
Correct.
Every action and every reaction shown and displayed
stems from fear.
Stems from fear.
Stems from fear.
Whether we think you're being fearless, whether it's desperation, that all is stemming from a place of fear.
Right.
In terms of the game, not their home lives
of course,
where they're in debt.
And to your point in part 1 of this 2-part episode, fear of the unknown.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know what you're going to be playing.
Right.
And even in one of the episodes, what's the name, the main character's name?
Sung-gyung.
Sung-gyung. He was like, oh, well, and this was in episode 2, I think. He was like, well, you know, if it's a game that girls played, it could be catch cradles, it could be this, it could be that, or it could be this and that, or this and.
And he's naming 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That actually didn't even play any of those.
Right.
Because you don't know. It's fear of the unknown. But from red light, green light, you already know, like, I don't care what it is. I can't lose.
Right.
I don't care if I come in first or what. I can't lose.
Yeah. But
to go into the point that we're trying to make, some reoccurring themes, I couldn't help but relate it loosely.
Right. Okay.
Don't hold me to this, but there were some parallels to the prison system in America, at least.
All right.
First of all, they're all in uniform.
Right.
So that means that when you're all in uniform, you're already stripped from your identity.
Yes.
You're given numbers.
Yes.
You're only referred to as a number.
Yeah.
And you're in a situation, let's put all these people that relatively come from certain situations of the same theme.
Right.
In the case of the Squid Game, it's debt. They all owe substantial amounts of money that they can't repay.
Right.
So let's institutionalize these people, put them in an environment where they're all doing the same things at sort of a fair shot.
A controlled environment.
A controlled environment, a fair shot, which is really an illusion because the threat was and the reason I love this show is because the threat isn't the game. The game is not the threat. The threat is what desperate people, what the lengths that desperate people are willing to go.
Yeah.
So that you don't get ahead. That's the threat.
Yeah.
Because just like how they had the overnight fight.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't doing anything but trying, quote unquote, to go to sleep, and some people got eliminated off of that.
Mm-hmm.
No game involved.
Right.
That's the real threat. So
Yeah.
I just think that was a reoccurring theme. Like, wow, this is similar to sort of like a prison, and that's kind of the vibe that I got.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a great point
Mhm.
to make. I think you talked about it when you were just speaking. Competition,
Oh yeah.
healthy and unhealthy, just like you said. People straight up cracking their glass bottle from the sparkling water they probably had,
Yes.
and keeping that in their
Yes.
jacket pocket.
Yep.
So when that fight came out, shank, and they made a point in that episode, that same episode where the night fight happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where
I believe it was episode 2.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they were saying, "Oh, you better look at your own team because I saw someone that night kill one of their own team members. Are you sure
Yeah.
you're safe about that?"
So, homegirl said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sebyuk.
Yes.
So
Oh, you're good with the names.
Yeah.
I'll be forgetting. But yeah.
So
she said that. Mhm.
yeah, and that leads into another recurring theme of friendship and loyalty. Loyalty, big time loyalty.
That's huge.
And we know plenty of
Oh,
examples. You take Ali for instance.
no.
Poor Ali,
Yo.
who was just too naive for this type of environment.
Too naive for his own good.
But-
Great heart, not meant for this kind of environment.
Because
not meant for this kind of
He
game.
was playing fair.
Yes.
And fairness went out the door the second you woke up from the anesthesia wearing off.
Right.
Fairness was not on the table.
Well,
in terms of how the players were playing, no one was being fair. Their environment and what the people in the red suits
yeah.
were doing
Yeah.
was pretty much fair.
And
But-
they actually made a point
To
for,
say that.
for the game to actually be fair, as twisted as it was.
Right,
they
right.
because they actually wanted everybody to have a fair shot.
Oh, they did a perfect job of that. So
Yeah.
the environment was extremely controlled.
Right. Oh, 100% to a
But
T.
how the players were actually playing, nobody was playing fair.
Right.
And poor Ali, and I'll relate this to what I was saying about loyalty, was that, he was just, yes, sir, thank you, sir, yes, sir. Held
Right.
up freaking Song Gyong, held him up in the first game.
That's like the classic meme. If you've never even seen the show, you've seen that meme. Yeah, like
so loyal
great
to
guy all around.
Sung Woo.
Yeah.
And Sung Woo stabbed that man in the back. It might as well have been literal. It might as well, Sebyuk might as well have been Ali.
Yeah.
The way he stabbed Sebyuk in the neck, he basically did that to Ali. That marble game, I was livid. I was actually livid. And all over a man who was so loyal to you. And you do that and don't bat an eye, look back.
First
you don't do a
of
double.
all-
Sung Woo did not do a double take.
First of all, right.
Okay?
First of all, the premise of that game from the jump, when they're like, yo, pair up in teams of 2, and you're
yeah.
like, yo, we about to kill it.
Let's get my BFF. That's my best friend. Like,
yo, we about to kill this game. we about to kill every. We about to take out every pair, and then it's like, yeah, you guys are gonna be competing against each other. The loser gets eliminated.
my jaw actually dropped. My jaw legitimately dropped. It was
First
on
of
the
all, how entertaining for television, number
Yeah,
one,
that was
because I didn't expect that to be the twist
ground.
in that game.
Yeah, and that's a good point because most TV shows you're like, called it.
Right.
We know she's gonna walk down the hallway with no lights on.
Right.
Like
right.
that twist.
And then it's
complete.
just like, yeah, y'all got 15 minutes. Pair up in teams.
Play
and,
whatever game you want and
whatever game you want, and whoever gets the most marbles wins. Go nuts. Yeah, a little nuts. That game was a little nuts.
And just to wrap it up, like Ali was literally so loyal to him. So like loyalty, reoccurring theme, friendship. You
Right.
said
remind me.
you were talking about how
Oh, the parallels to prison.
yes. The
parallels to
prison,
prison.
the prison industrial complex.
And then, but to your point also, it's just like loyalty in in controlled environments where you know the inevitable outcome, does loyalty even exist?
Right.
Does
Just like
it?
fairness.
Right.
Like, fairness went out the window.
And
Loyalty went out the window.
then so it's like, okay, now we know what will happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
I think I really like the show. Quick sidebar. And I really like the show because the entire series was foreshadowing the old man's reveal. The old man's big reveal. Player 1.
Inam.
Exactly. His big reveal.
Right.
That the games were controlled from the jump. I mean rigged rather. They were rigged from the jump because he was never a player.
Right.
He created the games.
That was the twist. But we'll talk about that later.
But we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. So let's talk about your favorite part. Or maybe most enjoyable or most shocking. What stood out to you? Jay?
Well, yeah, and I kind of set myself up a little too early for that one, but I thought the overall message, and you don't really see the overall message until the very last episode. The reason why the game was created from the start, and I think the overall question is you could win, and we're just gonna really relate it to Squid Game, not even like a parallel for life.
But wait,
or
I want
anything.
you to save this. I want you to save this.
Oh,
That's not coming up yet.
okay.
Pick another favorite part.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I think I really enjoyed just the twist in all the games.
Okay.
Just the twist.
Okay.
Like we said from the Marble Gang. Like, yeah, pair up in teams of 2, but like, okay, only one of you can win.
Right, like the twist was you're not playing together, you're playing against each other.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
didn't see that coming. I mean, the glass bridge, like
Yeah.
fire. And then turns out that one guy's like, oh yeah, I worked in a glass factory. I know the difference. And then they're like, bet, turn the lights off.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
From
Talk
the
about
jump.
fair.
From the jump, red light, green light. I mean, you just didn't see it coming. And I think that's what I really liked because, like you said before, a lot of these shows, man, they're the same.
Right.
They're the same. You kind of know what's going to happen. It's not that exciting. And this show, it kept you on edge the entire time.
Yes. It definitely kept you on the edge of your seat.
What about you, though? What were some standout moments in the show for you?
Me, I'm an emotional person, so I like when things can like literally hit me to the core.
Okay.
If you can make me cry, I love your
then
show.
job well done.
Job well done. But I can cry easily.
So that means nothing. Got it.
The part that I liked was the Marble Game between specifically, I forget the girl's name, that she was in prison and she came right out and the guy handed her the card. That girl. And Sebyok.
Okay. Yeah.
That shit rocked me to my absolute core. She was the sweetest girl.
She was.
And her story was just so sad. The girl didn't even have a chance.
No, she didn't have a chance. And that's some real life shit, too.
And Sebyok's story was still sad, too.
Yeah.
And the fact that you knew it was coming, one of them was going to die. And I liked it because Sebyok was so hard. She was so hard body. And to see her burst out into tears like that, I was actually crying. I was.
Yeah.
I really was like, wiped a tear from my eye because that was so sad.
It was sad. That was a very sad part.
And especially when she made her turn around and was like, I hope you get to find your brother. That, I'm really getting emotional thinking about it because, yes. And Sebyok couldn't even turn around that last part when she was like,
she couldn't.
Sebyok, I hope you find your mother. I literally was like, girl, if you don't just die and stop talking because I'm about cried out.
It was sad. I mean, even in that same, I feel like that was just the saddest episode because, like, you made a great point. You're not playing as a team.
Yeah.
You're playing against each other, and like basically besides like red light, green light, and maybe the glass bridge, a lot of and actually the honeycomb game too.
So 3 out of 6.
Okay,
So half of the damn
I'm
games.
biting my tongue. Okay,
Got
anyway,
it.
what I was gonna say is, most of the games you're playing with a team, but you're really not. But
I mean, yeah.
yeah,
Tug of War. You were playing with a
yeah,
team.
tug of war. You were
Yeah.
playing with a team.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was just sad because of the twist,
And you knew it early on. in the game.
and you knew it,
Mhm.
and
You
you
knew it from the second the game started.
So yeah, so you can have a pair where it's like the two girls that you just mentioned, where it's just like, yeah, you actually deserve it. I'm gonna take myself out of this.
Mhm.
Or you have something like Ali and
Yeah,
San-woo,
Yeah.
when it's just like, you're winning, not happening, not happening, and then you kill Ali. But yeah, that episode was just that was a great episode.
Mhm.
That was probably
When
one of my favorite episodes, actually.
When the girl that got out of prison, when she just let that marble roll out of her hand and she didn't even throw it against the wall,
I know.
I was like, oh.
I had a feeling she was gonna do that.
I want to say I did, but I didn't.
Mhm.
Like, we knew they were talking and telling their life stories, but I didn't think she wasn't going to try. So when she just let that marble roll out finger by finger, she said, huh.
Yeah,
And Sabyuk was like, what are you doing?
she was tight.
Do a real throw.
Right.
Ugh,
She was tight.
that scene.
And then it's also like what the old man said to the main character's name. What's his name?
Oh, Sung-young.
Yeah, what the main character said to him, because the old man was playing him the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Right.
But literally, like, even in the game before we even knew the big reveal, he was playing him the whole time because he had another marble at the end. And then he was just basically like, do friends do that to each other? You were trying to take me out this whole time, but I heard you the entire time.
But you know what?
What's up?
The old man took that marble from Sung-young. He said, it was yours anyways, when he gave it back to him.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of besides the point, though, because the point was the old man was playing his oldness to his advantage, because he was like, oh, what did I say?
No, I know, but I'm trying to make the point, like, yes, he was playing him, but he really played him because he took his marble. Like, dude really thought he won, but he took it. And then when he was explaining the whole thing...
No. But peep game. He only thought he won because he was lying to the old man. Like you're wagering stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, you only wagered 3, not 4. And then
you're saying it was a miscalculation on...
No, it was Sangyeon was lying to the old man.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if he took a marble from the start or not. Like, the only reason he thought he won was because he lied to him. Because the old man didn't remember what he said. That's why. Watch it back. Seriously.
Okay, I disagree. We'll take a
It's
poll.
all good.
We'll
It's
take
all good.
No.
Yeah.
We'll take a poll from the crowd about what you guys think about that.
Yeah.
Because I think the old man was playing him the whole time, and kept a marble. Took one of his marbles. Do you know what I'm trying to say, or no?
I get what you're trying to say, but I think you're forgetting the fact that the old man was playing him because he was pretending he didn't remember how much he was wagering.
But I don't care why.
Okay.
Anywho, let's talk about what you were trying to say before jumping the gun again.
Takeaways.
What was your
what was your takeaway? What was one of your takeaways?
I mean, we spoke about it,
Mm-hmm.
but the overall meaning, what people do when they're desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take that and let's have rich people look over and see, what are these bums gonna do? How desperate can these guys get?
Right.
So when we have the scene of those 5 freaking weirdo guys, God,
the VIPs.
the VIPs were weirdos. Especially, we all know that one guy was just a freaking weirdo. But anywho,
sus.
Right?
Completely sus.
Like, let's get drunk and watch these bums play a game where all of them are gonna die but one. Like, an overall takeaway for me was, you have money, you could do whatever you want. You can really truly do whatever you want. And when you're in a position where you don't and you're in debt, it can get real scary.
100%.
So like check your bank accounts, people. Dead ass, get your credit score up. The whole point
it's
for
true.
me was this is real life. That's the whole
100%.
point. This is real life.
And that's what people are saying. Yo, I'm telling you, when you're desperate, you don't know what you're capable of.
Right. And that's when your moral compass goes away.
Oh, 100%. Of course.
What about you? What did you take away? What was your overall meaning? What were you trying to say earlier?
I was a takeaway that I had. I really liked the origin of why the games were created in the first place.
Yes, me too.
And the old man was basically just trying to say, in a weird, twisted way, we're the same.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much money, I don't know what to do with it. You have no money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how to conduct yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Life is fun. Life isn't fun for either of us.
Super rich and super poor.
Life isn't fun for either of us. So this whole time, in the most twisted, effed up way, this old man, before he died, was just trying to revive something in himself.
Because he has too much damn money to even know what to do.
And it's sad that it had to come to such a twisted fate for him to feel a spark of life again.
Yeah.
But that was the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
And then another overall takeaway that I had was just the Squid Game can be summed up in one sentence. I won, but at what cost?
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole reason why all these people were trying to get in contact with the guy at the end, because he won all that money and it was just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't change his life at all.
No.
You come back. He came back. His mom's dead.
Yeah.
His daughter's in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he had a friend in the old man. He actually had a friend in, what was the girl's name?
Oh, Sebyok.
He actually had a friend in her.
Mm-hmm.
Ali was a great guy.
Yeah.
Everybody's gone.
Yeah.
You have all this money.
Mm-hmm.
You get to say, I won, but at what cost?
Yeah.
What was the point of it all?
And you were going tooth and nail. Let's team up. Let's do this. Let's do that. And boom, boom, boom. Death after death. And you're, grieving and not at the same time.
Right.
And yeah, you come back and you're like, okay, so now what?
So now what? Now, if anything, I'm in the... It's the cycle for me. Now I'm in the position of the old man. I have so much money, I don't know what to do now.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do now? And the old man was like, well, the guilt is yours now.
Right.
And the old man is like, can you still find good in humanity? It's just, I don't know. It's just this twisted question of real life. Like, look at, like you said, look at your circle. Who is every smiling face your friend though? For real. Can we trust everybody?
We're going to say that for another episode.
That's
because
great.
We're gonna do an episode on friendship, because that is a whole other podcast in itself.
That's true. That's a whole other podcast.
But I think you make a great point. I mean, that last scene, I was absolutely drawn in.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
I loved it.
And then, of course, he dies, right? When he literally was like, oh, I'm going to kill you if I win.
Right.
And he looked over and that man was dead. And now, we catch him leaving the airport like James Bond style.
Right.
What
red
he
hair.
about to do with his red hair?
Red hair.
Come on.
Raggedy Ann now.
Freaking Clifford the Big Red Dog on this guy's head.
On this guy's head.
What are your predictions for season 2?
Just to feel something. Predictions for season 2 could be the cliche. Him just trying to stop the games somehow.
Okay.
What about you?
I think he's going to end up going back into the game and infiltrate it.
He could.
I don't know how, because they literally know his face, but I just feel that somehow.
They were literally like, listen. What was his number? 456?
456. Don't turn.
He was like,
get
listen,
on that
456. Get on this plane. It's for your own good.
listen, bitch, get on this plane. For
He's
y'all
like,
get-
no.
Yeah. No. Like poor, what's his daughter's name? If you don't know, if I don't know, you don't know.
His daughter's name?
Yeah. Okay.
God knows.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, so poor little girl.
Yeah. Yo, she couldn't catch a break. That's also a
I
recurring
just
theme.
love. Okay, we're gonna just talk for 2 seconds. I just love when Sungyeon punches her stepdad in the face.
Right.
And Lil, I'm gonna call her Lily. Lil Lily's like, Dad, why? Like on some Cindy Lou Who type shit. Like, why Santa Claus? Why? I just felt so bad for her.
Because she's just holding the damn umbrella like,
right. She's like,
really,
oh,
bruh?
my daddy left his umbrella. Doof, 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 doof. And she just sees this. Doof.
And then end scene, he's like, yeah, of course I got you a present. Of course, I'm going to come to the United States, to L.A. Then he's like,
I'm on a mission to stop the Squid Game.
BRB, Lily.
Right, BRB. Poor little
That girl couldn't catch a break
She
for
couldn't.
her life.
But anywho, let's talk about our. We finished part 1 and part 2. We
Right.
talked about fear, the intricacies of fear, what it can do to us positively, negatively. We
right.
talked about a great example of people showing fearlessness and people being fearful in a way.
Right.
The popular Netflix show, reoccurring themes, our favorite parts. So what about fear should people take away from this? What about it is important for everyday life?
I think a great takeaway would be, don't be so fearful that it impacts your character.
Okay, explain a little. Character.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I
Yeah.
just want to understand you a little.
I think when it comes to fear of the unknown, as we know, it could lead to a host of different things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand something, you're scared of it. In terms of violence, you don't understand a group of people, you are out to eliminate them, like the Squid Game
Like the
show.
legit. Yeah, just like we mentioned in part
But-
1, rage, what it can do. And hate.
Don't let it impact who you are. Let's remember the scene when Sangyeon wanted to kill San-woo because he was drifting off to sleep, and the girl was like, but that's not who you are, though.
Right.
You're acting from a place of fear. You want to win so bad that you see him slipping and you were going to kill him, but that's not you. Let's not let fear impact us in a way where we're now acting out of character. So whether in real life terms, that could mean, like I said in part 1, don't let fear affect your decision making. Don't react to stuff. Be proactive. Be proactive. Face fear head on.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I truly #20 was gonna say the same thing.
Wow.
Don't let fear stop you from
100%.
doing things, and
Yeah.
don't let it paralyze
you. That's a big
from
one.
doing things.
That's a big one.
We, just like me, that was my fear in part 1. I'm fearful of the unknown. We're so fearful of the unknown that we'd rather sit with regret
Yeah.
than just act
Right.
and take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
I love the quote. It's by Martin Luther King Jr. You don't have to see the first step of the staircase to take a step.
'Cause you don't.
You know
You
what
don't
will
have
happen when you make a move? You get further ahead. Whether you think it's taking you back, it's actually taking you ahead, because now you know, okay, this didn't work.
Right.
Now I can move this way.
Right.
Or if it did work, you're one step ahead than where you were before.
Right.
But don't sit on your goals and sit on your dreams. And I think this just goes back right into episode 1 of a quarter life crisis, when we're sitting in that,
or a life crisis in general.
right? A life crisis, right? We see the quarter life, midlife. Look, you 75, 3/4 life.
Yeah.
Like, don't let stuff paralyze you.
Yeah.
Don't let the unknown paralyze you. Don't let fear stop you from doing something that could be so incredible. And I think, sorry, last point,
That's
that
okay.
that just goes into what we talked about in episode 3 in self-sabotage. Give yourself some more credit.
Yeah.
What did you have to add?
I was gonna say, to your point, as I'm listening to you talk,
Not us going back and forth and feeding off of each other. Not us doing
a
that.
damn tennis match over here. 40 love over
No,
here.
not we tennis.
I'm a beast. Anyway, to the points that you were making, I think a lot of times, fear prevents you from creating momentum. And a lot of times we know when you're trying to do anything, the hardest thing to do is to start. So when you're so scared of the unknown, you're not starting because you don't know how it's going to turn out. You're scared of how it's going to turn out, or you're scared that you're in over your head. You don't know what you're doing or anything like that. But to your point, to echo your point, you don't have to see the full staircase to take the first step.
Right.
That first step is the momentum.
Yeah.
That's creating momentum. And a lot of times what happens when you do create momentum, you feel an instant sigh of relief because it was never that bad. It was never that bad. What's bad is the figment that you have in your head.
Yeah.
So we can't let fear take us out of character, and we can't let fear paralyze us from even creating momentum. And Sir Isaac Newton said, an object in motion will stay in motion. Seriously.
Yeah.
So once that momentum is created, hopefully you have the drive to continue on.
Not us quoting chemistry out here.
Come on.
Relativity and gravity. I was thinking of an acronym while you were speaking because I love acronyms. And if you didn't listen to episode 1, I concluded that with rack it up.
Rack it up.
Realization, acceptance, change, rack.
Hello.
It up.
Not you remembering it, though.
Because I made it up. So let's face everything about readiness. Fear. Face everything about readiness.
That's a fucking gem if I've ever known one.
Be ready. Be ready. Ready to tackle it. Ready to do it. Ready to take that step. Face everything about readiness. Okay? And that is fear, y'all.
That's
the
fear
double
in
the double
a nutshell.
verdict. The double verdict is don't let things stop you. Don't let things paralyze you.
And don't let things take you out of character.
Don't let them take you out of character. And face everything about readiness.
Wow. Charisse, you're changing lives out here.
Listen, we're changing lives. And on that note, check out episodes 1, 2, and 3. Check out part 1 of this part 2.
Right.
And let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think. Be ready for more great content.
Yes, it's Halloween and spooky season. We cooking up in the cauldron for y'all,
cooking
okay?
up some fire for y'all, all right?
But hey, the only thing to fear is fear itself. Bye.
Thanks for rocking with us.
If you're enjoying the Twin Tapes, go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube and follow our page on Anchor. Honestly, just tell a friend to tell a friend.
It's the Twin Tapes. We just made you do a double take.
Double take.
It's the Twin Tapes, and we sitting at a table for two.